This is Adam, and he suffers from gout. Try Urol. It helps to prevent crystallization of uric acid crystals in gout therapy. Urol, effective urinary alkalinizer for gout.
Hello, I'm Camelia, and this is Kini News. Abdul Hadi Awang has continued to push for a stronger response to the recent federal court's decision to nullify the validity of Kelantan's 16 syariah criminal provisions. The past president, this time, issued a reminder to those in power that they will be judged by a higher authority.
Abdul Hadi Awang has once again called on all Muslims to safeguard their faith, including judges, lawyers and politicians, as well as the Malay rulers. In his recent Facebook post, he defended an earlier statement where he claimed that the federal constitution contained elements which still colonized the minds of Muslims to lead them astray from Islam. The veteran politician said it was crafted by colonizers who plotted an independence which hoodwinked the Muslims to now give power to Islam. He called for more efforts to unravel this colonial bind, saying that too many time bombs were put in place with the aim of destroying religion, race, language and the motherland. Citing numerous Quranic verses, the past president reminded those with power and positions that their actions would be questioned in the grave. Last week, Selangor ruler Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, who is also the National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs chairperson, urged all quarters to remain calm as well as to respect the court's ruling and the federal constitution. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim had also expressed regret that certain parties were politicizing the court decision and assured that it would not dilute the powers of the Sharia court.
Meanwhile, no revision of Article 153 is in the works, despite calls made by a PKR Member of Parliament to do so.
There is no need to review Article 153 of the Federal Constitution, which outlines bumiputera privileges, said Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. He said this in response to calls by a PKR lawmaker for the government to review whether Article 153 was working as intended. Speaking briefly to reporters in Kuala Lumpur today, Anwar said the government will defend the Federal Constitution, including Article 153. Previously, Pasir Gudang MP Hassan Abdul Karim called on the upcoming Bumiputera Economic Congress to review whether Article 153 was actually helping Bumiputera or had only benefited a select few elites to the detriment of others. He also said the upcoming Bumiputera Economic Congress should not only review Bumiputera privileges but also the notion of race-based policies. Article 153 of the Federal Constitution states that the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is responsible for safeguarding the special position of the Malays and natives of Sabah and Sarawak. These include quotas for education, scholarships, public service positions, and licenses and permits for business. The article is often referred to as the Bumiputera privileges, although the Federal Constitution does not actually define what is a Bumiputera, but rather only the Malays and the natives of Sabah and Sarawak.
Muda has denied the notion of Daim Zainuddin playing a godfather role to the party. However, in his clarification, the party did not entirely rule out being funded by the former finance minister.
The acting president of Muda has denied that former finance minister Daim Zainuddin was the biggest financial contributor to the party. Amira Aisha Abdul Aziz was quoted by Free Malaysia Today as saying that the allegation of Daim being Muda's godfather or biggest funder is definitely not true. However, she explained that the party has a strict funding structure in which a donor can only contribute a maximum of 200,000 ringgit at any one time. Amira also revealed that Daim was not a Muda member, but his wife Naima Abdul Khalid was. Speculation was rife about Daim's family's involvement in the party after Amira was spotted among Naima's entourage when the latter was charged with not disclosing her assets to the MACC. Amira said she will show the same support to any member of the party, but added that Naima is also a personal friend. Daim and his wife are being probed by the MACC and have been charged with failure to comply with an MACC notice.
Viral pictures on various social media platforms showing Dr. Mahathir Mohamad in critical condition are fake. His aide has come out to reveal the nonagenarian's current health condition.
Dr. Mahathir Mohamad is conscious and not in critical condition, according to the former Prime Minister's close aide. The unnamed source was quoted as saying in the Star that Dr. Mahathir is still warded at the National Heart Institute and they will issue an update if there is any significant development. Last week, it was reported that Dr. Mahathir would be taking a period of rest following treatment at IJN for an infection after he was admitted on January 26th. Meanwhile, several media outlets have been reporting that the viral images of Dr. M in critical condition on social media are fake. Latest pictures of Dr. Mahathir in his private room are now circulating to dispel the fake rumours. The 98-year-old's state of health came to light when his lawyer applied to postpone proceedings for his defamation suit against Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi last week. Dr. Mahathir's lawyer, Mir Nur Haider Suhaimi, in an application to postpone proceedings, told the court that his client had been admitted to IJN. The case was then adjourned to July 19th.
Moving on to the next story, Malaysian delegation is currently in The Hague to participate in a joint hearing at the International Court of Justice on Israel's policies and practices in the occupied Palestinian territory.
Foreign Minister Muhammad Hassan is set to lead the Malaysian delegation to participate in public hearings at the request of the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. He will be participating in the advisory opinion concerning the legal consequences arising from the policies and practices of Israel in the occupied Palestinian territory at the Peace Palace at The Hague. The hearings are being held from February 19th to 26th and Muhammad is scheduled to deliver Malaysia's oral submission on February 22nd at 5:10 p.m. local time. In a statement, Muhammad said the hearing advisory opinion is a separate procedure from the application by South Africa to institute proceedings against Israel, which was filed before the ICJ on December 29, 2023. He said while the South African application is filed over alleged violations by Israel over its obligations under the 1948 Genocide Convention, this advisory opinion derives from the request by the United Nations General Assembly. The advisory opinion is an important process to obtain legal advice from the ICJ, the principal judicial organ of the UN, per Article 96 of the UN Charter and Article 65 of the ICJ Statute. According to the Foreign Minister, this is the second time that Malaysia has been involved in the ICJ advisory opinion procedure in support of Palestine. He added Malaysia remains committed within its means and capabilities to finding a lasting solution for the Palestine-Israel conflict through all internationally recognized platforms.
An international hacker group has seemingly increased the frequency of its cyber attack on Malaysia for the past few days, with a Malaysian government department being its latest target.
An international hacker group claimed to have gained access to terabytes of data from a government agency. The group called Rootkit announced on its Telegram channel yesterday that it had hacked the Padu organization. They also claimed that more than 27 terabytes worth of data had been stolen from its servers. Initial reactions implied that the group had hacked the government's central database hub Padu. However, Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli clarified on X last night that this referred to the National Population and Family Development Board's Performance and Delivery Unit LPPKN, also abbreviated as PADU. LPPKN is an agency under the Women, Family and Community Development Ministry with functions including family planning services. While Rafizi and others claim that Economy Ministry's Padu database was unaffected, some have pointed out that LPPKN may have similar personal data about the Rakyat. Rootkit, in announcing its Padu hack, shared a photo of a woman's MyCard as proof of its allegation. Tech news portal Soya Chinchao reported that based on what the hacker group had shared, the data from LPPKN may date back to 2019. Rootkit said it had carried out the hack on LPPKN in an effort to pressure the government into acknowledging its cyber attacks on Malaysia. The group had declared in late January that it was targeting Malaysia's digital infrastructure.
It is an open secret that when it comes to expensive special edition number plates, our current king possesses an enviable collection. To add to that collection is the Gold 1 number plate.
Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar has added the Gold 1 number plate to his collection following a successful bidding process. According to Sultan Ibrahim's Facebook page, His Majesty had acquired the number plate for a whopping 1.5 million ringgit. The money will be channeled to the federal government. This broke his previous record of forking out 1.2 million ringgit for the number plate FF1 last year. Transport Minister Anthony Loke presented a symbolic Gold 1 number plate to Sultan Ibrahim after being granted an audience with His Majesty at Istana Negara. In 2015, former Road Transport Department Director General Ismail Ahmad said the department had kept the names of royalty, cabinet ministers and judges who bid for car registration plates secret because of a cabinet rebuke in 2012. He said the department received a tongue lashing from Putrajaya after it disclosed Sultan Ibrahim's winning bid for a license plate. In 2012, Sultan Ibrahim won the WWW1 car number with a bid of 520,000 ringgit, and 2 years later, he won the W1N registration number with a bid of 748,000 ringgit. His Majesty also owns the number plate F1, which he won for 836,660 ringgit in 2016.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.